Yeah, so I'm going to kind of go over a couple different things here regarding AI and developers and introduce OpenClaw as well and how that works with Near AI. So first, with new agent meta here and working with AI as developers and developer platform at Near Dev, we've had to make sure that we've actually addressed that as well. And that all fits in together with what we're doing here with agents. So from near docs and what we consider AI grounding is that we have a problem that we've been trying to solve since pretty much the, fall of last year. Docs are for humans, and they've been written that way always. And so LMs struggle with the ambiguity in that document, and sometimes when you're just trying to show examples, you're not being always emphatic and clear. So what happens is LLMs can't process that, so we need to actually better address docs in a way that allows develop LLMs to process that information to make better code. So we want to eliminate the frustrated developers and broken code, and so what we've done is what's called GEO. So it is kind of like SEO, but now this is actually for generated output. And what we do for that now in our documentation, we've had this actually before in all these other chains kind of promoted stuff. We've had this actually since October, where we've structured metadata for AI retrieval. We have deterministic answers. If you see now in our docs, you'll start to see more and more of like, this is how something is, like very clearly how things work. And then we've also started working on making sure through the community, we have agent skills as well that you can actually just download and input into your agent and they can use that. So if you just point your agent to docs.near.org, you will have the right information for you to start actually building easily on Near with your agent from there. We'll continue to update those as we go. But what's really exciting is the whole agent thing. If you haven't seen this, I don't know where you are online, but this is everywhere across the stack. And OpenClaw, while it is open source and it has been really widely touted everywhere, it is problematic for a few different ways. And right now, we know it's a black box. And this is all stuff that Near AI is addressing. Your prompts go to servers you can't verify, your data is processed environments you don't control, all that stuff that we've talked about 100 times about Near AI. But with this, of the private inference, the verifiable execution, the user ownership, it really supercharges OpenClaw with allowing your agent to now be a private box for your information. It allows you to then have a situation where all the requests are being run inside that TE, that trusted execution environment, and then you know that where your information is going and staying. It is not foolproof, and that is why you probably have seen previews of Ilya talking about IronClaw, which we're not going to talk about today. But this is a great step forward from what the traditional just setup of here's OpenClaw, download it and load it on your VPS or Mac Mini. Um, this is straightforward. Again, all the hardware security is still there. It is just as if you were having the chat with Near AI. It's built in now to this actual agent yourself. So you're still having all that same trusted execution through all your requests to your AI. And what we now have is in OpenClaw, that agent gateway here is whether you're still using it just like you see online people talking about through Telegram, through Discord, Signal, whatever. Um, and then you can still use your different models. Now, if you don't use the Near AI models, then you are losing some of that privacy, but you can still run your instance in a in the Near AI instance and then use different models however you want to do it. And I've introduced this in a video. If you go to the Near Protocol YouTube page, you can see a video of me getting this all set up. And then you can still have all your tools and everything else there. And it's one config and it's fully controlled under your setup and it's private. And that's a really big thing. So this infrastructure is fully private. This is not running on just some random VPS somewhere. So here's really what the difference looks like. Uh, OpenClaw, again, is everything's in plain text. Your keys are encrypted, though, here on Near AI. The logs are visible and out in the open. Everything is only you see on chains, the attestations. There is no admin access to the app data. It's all zero knowledge proof of execution. It is all information there that is staying with the principles of Near AI, except now for your agent. And that's a huge piece here that we really think is important for how you use these agents. You're not just letting them do whatever and showing whatever kind of information. And it's all, again, private. Just real quick, I do want to show here that just so you can kind of see the high level view of it. How does your data get accessed? Again, cloud provider admins could still see your data. Infrastructure, could see it. If there's exploits, they could see it. They're not perfect on the TE. They just mitigated, so it's not 100% foolproof if for exploits, but you're better. And again, if your account gets compromised, again, you have a huge problem on your own VPS or even your own computer. But with a TE, as long as they don't have your actual key that's encrypting all of it, then you're actually pretty safe. Uh, Again, just another way to look at this. Again, the process is where regular it's user to API gateway to cloud. For here instead on near AI, it's user to API gateway to encrypted TE to remote attestation to near anchor. And that flow again keeps all your stuff protected and secure all the way through. I'm not going to go through all this. I'll share this as well. Anyone who wants to see this, and we'll post this online. This is a full overview of the architecture here of how OpenClaw runs on near AI. It just kind of breaks down how this all fits together and where it all looks and what's actually private, where's all the encryption coming from and stuff like that. So I'll absolutely share that later. Lastly, is with this, we can still now interact with all these really cool things that are being built on near AI. And I want to just introduce really quick the agent market. So there's a demo that we just released about how you can sign up for this. I use my near AI agent to sign up. You just go to market.near.ai and you tell your agent go there and register, and there will figure this out. And so there's all different jobs now. There's almost 2,000 different open tasks available. You can bid on work. You can post your own work. It's really easy. You can see that, like, here's just a screenshot of, my bot said, "Hey, is this okay?" I said, "Yep, looks good. Let's offer." And they posted it, and here's the information, and you can go see the job that we posted. It was really pretty cool, pretty easy. And it's not limited anymore to just what it can and can't do. It can now hire other agents and expand all the way through. So you don't have to keep setting up more and more agents or yourself. This also works with like something like near intents. I was able to have my near AI agent basically install intents on itself, and then I could just talk to it. And I said, here's the swap we want to do. And I wanted to send two near to intents, and I wanted to get back, USDC, and it went through it, gave me back the verification, and it's done. And so what's really great here is that all this is happening within my own private agent. So that's where I really want to make sure that from here going forward, that if I have my stuff on a TE through Near AI, it's the best outcome there versus something else that I don't have full control over. There's a lot more content coming out, but just so you can see the full stack, this is how it would look with Near AI, going from your chat platform all the way down to the protocol. It's a really nice full stack all the way through. And then if you want more information, here are the websites. You can also reach out to me directly. I'm happy to answer questions as I've been playing with this quite a bit lately. And then please send your agents to the docs. We've been working really hard at Near Dev to make sure that your agents can build as best as possible here on Near. And that's it.